Exactech one is fascinating.
I mean, does everybody know what happened there? I'll tell you what I know, which is very little. They had chronic packaging recalls, and they had so many that it turned into a class action lawsuit. And the litigators, the ambulance chasers kind of went after the company, and you know, the private equity group that bought them for 700 something million, and now the company's worth very little, and that some of the insiders are buying the company for 85 million. And remains to be seen what's going to come out the other side.
I never dug deep into it, but I remember there being a couple of things, maybe 18 months or 2 years ago, where they were dancing around a proper field action. So there was issues related to their packaging. It was leading to some parts being bad, and they pulled some parts back, but then they sent a letter out and told everybody that all their shoulder polyethylene was fine. And then part of that turned out to be wrong. And I think what ended up happening was because my suspicion is that they tried to minimize the damage, but it just simply put more spotlight on them, and they didn't solve the problem, or they didn't figure out what the problem was properly, and then didn't address it aggressively because they were trying to bury their head in the sand. And we've seen that sort of thing in the past. And then once blood is in the water, I mean, I was at Depew Synthes when the metal thing took off, and it became an absolute feeding frenzy for the sharks, to where essentially lawyers were convincing patients to go to their surgeon and convince them to take out perfectly good functioning hips and revise them so that they could then join a metal class action lawsuit. And I imagine that some sort of terrible cascade probably took place with Exactech product too.
Yeah, it's usually not the issue, it's the cover up that gets companies
Yep.
in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. When the lawyers smell blood, it's kind of all over.
Well, I was just going to bring in to the effect of the exact tech. When in 1998, Pfizer launched a drug that was a great broad spectrum antibiotic that we were selling, and I mean they'd done more research on it. They had something like 15,000 people in clinical trials, phase 3 clinical trials, which was at the time almost unprecedented. The amount of people they had in it, and they still did not pick up on a signal that certain patients who were on this antibiotic at certain time, like, uh, I mean, would actually die from it.